Good morning. I'd like to welcome you to the Hamilton County Board of Elections meeting. Today is February the 11th, 2025, and we're calling the meeting to order at about 8:33, and would also like to indicate that proper notice has been given as required under our Ohio Revised Code 121.22. We'd like to begin first with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like all those individuals who have served our country or is serving our country to please lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And thank you for serving our country. I feel this is important to make sure we recognize all those individuals that work within these walls, because they're doing a fantastic job along with all of our other team members. Like to follow our agenda. We're going to have the board meeting minutes, need them approved from January the 14th, 2024. I'd like to indicate as well that all of those minutes have been mailed to the board. Are there any changes, updates, or revisions of those minutes? Yes.
From our January 14th meeting.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That motion carries. Next, we have on our agenda the appointment of the new deputy director, Ms. Poland.
Yes, I know typically our board, to show support for each party, one member of the board will make the motion to appoint the deputy director or the director. This is obviously a democratic position, but Ohio law states that a member of the same party as the deputy director needs to make the motion. So we'll turn that back over to Gwen or Joe.
Thank you. Need a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
move to approve the appointment of new Deputy Director Raquel Burgos.
Any more?
Second.
Need a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? We have appointment of our new deputy director, and I'd like to swear you in at this particular point. So shall we go down in the front? Yes. Raquel, by honor given to me by the Board of Elections, the state of Ohio, Hamilton County, the oath, if you
I.
repeat after me and hold your right hand, and your name,
Raquel Burgos,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Ohio Constitution,
and the Ohio Constitution,
and perform all of the duties of my position to the best of my ability,
and perform all the duties of my position to the best of my ability,
enforce the election laws,
enforce the election laws,
and preserve all records,
and preserve all records,
documents,
documents,
and other property
and other property
pertaining to the conduct
pertaining to the conduct
of elections placed in my custody.
of elections placed in my custody.
Thank you. You are now our new deputy director. Thank you. Congratulations. And we have some other
On behalf of the staff
Yes.
of the Board of Elections,
Sherry.
we congratulate our new deputy director.
Can I say something real quick? Thank you. I've spent the most of my career serving my country. I was in the military for a number of years, and then I've been here for almost 13 years. And I love nothing more but to serve the public, and I will do my very best in this position to uphold what I've been doing my whole career. Thank you.
She's on the job and ready to go. As they say, fired up and ready to go. All right.
Congratulations.
Next on the agenda is the discussion of the 2024 presidential election anomaly report. Ms. Poland?
Yes, as directed by the board, staff mailed 15 certified letters to the voters we had not yet heard from. Of those 15 voters, we did receive a response from 2 that spoke to myself and the former deputy director. We also have, though, 9 voters that we've not yet heard from or received the certified mail receipt returned from the post office. So it's our recommendation to continue this until the March 4th meeting so that we can allow a little more time to receive that notification back from the post office and also track to see where it is in the process. So we recommend tabling this until the March 4th
Madam Chair,
meeting.
Yes.
I move that we table item 4, or item 5, 2024 presidential election anomaly report until next month's meeting.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And that motion carries. Next is discussion of the 2024 presidential election precinct election official performance evaluation. Ms. Poland?
Yes, our PEO department has completed those evaluations. They evaluated all 296 polling locations that were open on November 5th. Happy to report that 154 of those polling locations received a perfect score, according to our matrix. 40, although they did not receive a perfect score, they demonstrated adequate performance. We are recommending that 102 of those locations receive additional training. There were certain focus areas that they did not meet the score necessary to move on. Those areas are 4 different types of processes: open closed tapes process, provisional process, ballot accounting, and spoiled. So as been the tradition of this board, we will send those poll workers a packet letting them know the areas that they need improvement along with the proper procedures, and they will have to sign off acknowledging that they've reviewed those materials before they will be appointed to work again. There are 10 precinct election officials that we're recommending be retired or just simply not rehired based on their performance. So that's staff's recommendation, and we do need board approval of this report.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the report as presented by board staff.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And that motion carries. Thank you. Ms. Poland, next.
Yes, next on our agenda is certification 2025 partisan candidate petitions. You have 3 separate lists in your packet. First, I will address the list entitled Sufficient. Board staff has reviewed all of the petitions from the candidates listed on this report. We found them to be sufficient and recommend certification.
Any discussion?
This requires a motion,
It
correct? Okay.
it does. It
Yes.
does.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the document entitled sufficient for approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And that motion carries.
The next list is entitled Insufficient. There's 1 candidate that appears on this list. This candidate's petition did not contain the required number of valid signatures to place this candidate on the ballot. So staff recommends rejection of this petition.
Madam Chair, I move that we reject this document entitled insufficient as described.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And that motion carries.
Then there's 1 final document under this agenda item that's entitled Board Review. These petitions submitted by the candidates listed on this report have various problems. with their petitions. We'll start with the very first one. This was a petition filed for City of Cheviot. The City of Cheviot is running their members of council by ward this election. The at-large is not on the ballot this year, so they're running by ward. This particular candidate filed his petition only listing for the nomination to the office of city council. The candidate did not list which ward he will be running in. A copy of the petition is in your packet, so we're presenting this for the board to make a determination on this petition.
So I have a question for, I believe, council. Is this a strict compliance or substantial compliance issue?
Your strict compliance in this matter, yes.
Okay.
And the issue here is that this candidate indicated the incorrect office for which he was filling out this petition, correct, Counselor?
Correct.
That's
He did not
correct.
identify what ward he was seeking office for.
Right, and as a strict compliance matter with that mistake, it's your recommendation that the petition should be rejected?
That would be the recommendation, yes.
Madam Chair, I move that we reject the petitions for the reasons discussed.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And that motion carries.
The next candidate on the list of board review petitions is from the City of Harrison Council at Large. This candidate, on the vast majority of the signatures collected, signed the declaration of candidacy after the elector signed the petition. There were only 26 valid signatures in which the voters signed the petition after the signature of the candidate on the declaration of candidacy form. So, and this candidate needs 50 valid signatures.
So we have a situation where there are not enough valid signature and it's she signed in error.
She dated her declaration of candidacy
Afterwards.
after the voters had signed, and that must occur prior to the voters.
So you can't
signing
circulate the petition prior to signing your statement of candidacy, declaration of candidacy.
And for reference to the board, the Ohio Elections Manual does specifically address this on page 377 with regard to the candidate signature. And obviously this factually poses a problem.
And it's a strict compliance as well. Okay, any more discussion?
Madam Chair,
Need a motion?
I move that we reject this ballot for the reasons discussed, or this petition for the reasons discussed.
Second.
Any more discussion? I'm-
Oh.
We have a motion on the floor, and it's been seconded. We will follow through with the motion, and then we'll have a few words from you. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That motion carries. Aye, sorry.
And this was a fatal flaw.
Fatal flaw.
Okay.
Yes, you may step to the podium and say a few words. First, if you can identify yourself and,
Thank you. I am the one that made the mistake, and I apologize profusely. This is my first time running, and I overthought it. In my line of work, I do mortgages, and you sign things the day the customer signs or after. So that is what I did. I completed the top of the petition on all of the forms the day that I received them, and then I dated it after they signed. But what I did do is I did go back and get a couple of people to write letters saying that they did know that I represented Republican. They did know that I had my platform with me in case they asked for it. They could read it, and I brought that with me as well. And I didn't know if you wanted to review that or if it was a steadfast.
no, not at this point.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. I always say lessons learned. Am I correct? Okay, all right.
Oh, I do have one other question. May I run as an independent?
Now, but looking at, according to our laws, She can't she, let's take that back to council.
Yeah, that would be a matter that, if you
to
do
council.
decide to file, we would then have to take that matter up with our legal counsel.
Thank you. Okay, next, Ms. Poland.
Yes, next on your list is a potential candidate for City of Norwood, Council Ward 3. Again, a copy of this petition is in your packet. Two-part petitions were submitted by this candidate. On the second part petition, the petition for candidate section was left blank. This is where the candidate should fill in their political party as well as their name. Note, it was completed on the first part petition. It was not completed on the second. Without counting the signatures contained on the second part petition, this candidate will not have enough valid signatures.
And this is another strict compliance issue?
This would actually be a substantial compliance issue with the board making a determination with regard to each particular form as to whether or not they have substantially complied with the filling out of that particular document.
Okay.
Counselor, is there guidance either from the Secretary of State or legal precedents on this issue and our actions in the past?
So with reference to the statute 3513.07, in discussing this particular form does talk about having to substantially comply with the form. And in 2019, there was a decision, the Weller decision. I have a site, Weller versus Tuscarawas County Board of Elections. It's 158 Ohio State 3rd 266. And in that particular case, although there's some nuances to it, there was an indication, again, that there needs to be substantial compliance here, and that the forms, if there is some omission in them, that is a problem with substantial compliance. So that's case law guidance. I do believe we have some guidance from Ms. Poland with regard to actions that have been taken in the past by this board.
Yes, in February of 2021, the board did vote to accept a petition where the petition for candidate section was left blank. And then in later that year, in August of 21 and in 2022, the board rejected petitions where the nominating petition portion was left blank. So the difference is that it's entitled a petition for candidate. When it is a partisan petition being filed, it is named a nominating petition when it's a petition filed by an independent candidate. So it's different forms, different sections that are used. I do not know, when reviewing the board minutes, I do not know if the board or legal counsel was aware of this 2019 court decision when the board voted to accept the petition that was left blank back in early 2021. In reviewing the board meeting minutes, we just cannot decipher whether or not we were aware of this court decision at that time.
So there was perhaps lack of evidence that they were aware, is what I think I hear you saying, regarding the...
I do not know if the board was aware of this court decision that council has just stated when you voted to accept a similar petition in early 2021.
Okay, thank you.
So,
Any-
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead. No,
Madam Chair.
Go ahead.
Counselor, it would seem that Weller decision is controlling for this type of issue. Is that your opinion as well?
Right, correct.
And according to Weller, failure to fill out this section then that does not meet the substantial compliance requirement
Correct.
needed. Okay.
Any more discussion?
Madam Chair,
Need a motion?
yeah, I would move that we reject this this petition for failing to meet the substantial compliance requirement.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And that motion carries.
The next candidate on your list is a potential candidate that filed for City of Reading, Council Ward 2. This is a similar situation in which the board just voted. Again, two-part petitions were submitted. The first part petition, the petition for candidate section was complete. In the second part petition, the petition for candidate portion was left blank. Without accepting the signatures on the second part petition, the candidate will not have enough valid signatures. So very, very similar to the petition you just addressed.
Discussion?
Madam Chair, so council, this is essentially the same fact pattern as we just discussed, correct?
It is a similar issue, yes.
And because of the fact that one of the part petitions fails to fill out the petition for candidate, assuming we follow the same logic, that part petition would be rejected, and therefore this candidate would lack the required number of valid signatures, correct?
Correct.
Madam Chair, for that reason, I would move that we reject this declaration of candidacy as well.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That motion carries.
Madam Chair, the next potential candidate on the board review list is filed for City of Sharonville, Council Ward 4. Again, a similar situation. This candidate filed 3 part petitions. The petition for candidate section on all 3 part petitions was left blank.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that we reject this declaration of candidacy for failing to meet substantial compliance and therefore not having the number of valid signatures.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And that motion carries.
Yes, the last candidate on your board review list is in regards to petitions filed for Village of Silverton Council at Large. This candidate filed 3 separate part petitions. On the third part petition, the candidate listed the wrong election year. The election date is listed as May 6, 2024. There is guidance in the Secretary of State Election Officials Manual, again on page 377, regarding date of the election. The purpose of the date of the election on a declaration of candidacy is to inform those signing the petition as to the election at which the candidate seeks to be on the ballot. The board must determine whether those signing the petition understand which election is at issue. And we'll also note the candidate signed the declaration of candidacy on January 12th of 2025, so just shortly after the first of the year.
Okay. Discussion.
Council, is this a strict compliance or a substantial compliance?
This would be substantial compliance, and with the guidance of the OEM, I think the board should have good direction on this.
In terms of accepting
Correct.
this part petition,
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
Right. Madam Chair, I move that we accept these part petitions, including the one that had the wrong year on it, as fulfilling the substantial compliance requirement.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And that motion carries. Okay. Next on our agenda is the certification of the May 2025 primary special election questions and issues. Ms. Poland?
Yes, a list of the 9 local questions and issues that were filed timely are in your packet. Staff recommends acceptance, certification to the ballot.
Madam Chair, I move that we certify these to the ballot.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That motion carries. Next on our agenda is the May 2025 primary special election PEO, precinct election officials assignments. Ms. Poland.
Yes, as the board customarily has done in elections where we expect to see a lighter turnout, and under state law, the board may vote to reduce the number of poll workers assigned to multiple polling locations. So what staff's proposal is in your packet. For single precinct polling locations, it's staff recommendation, just keep it at standard staffing level, which is for precinct election officials. Per precinct. But for double precinct polling locations, we're also recommending 4 poll workers be assigned. For triples, that we assign 6, and for quads, we assign 8. This has been a standard reduction that we've done in recent elections. And again, this is the minimum, based on, we'll continue to watch turnout through absentee requests, things like that. And if we need to assign additional poll workers, we will. We'll, of course, assign additional poll workers to be backups. But the 1,340 is the minimum number that the staff recommends we hire for the May election. It does need board approval.
I would just like to say, I think it's very important and critical that we did a deep dive into doing some research, especially with this being a primary election that's going to be on the ballot. And again, thank you guys for being ahead of the game in that process as well. Any more discussion?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
move to approve the May 2025 primary special election precinct election official assignments.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? And that motion carries. Next is the resolution regarding authorizing execution of equipment delivery contract, 25-001. Ms. Poland?
Yes, as our equipment delivery contract expired at the end of last year, staff issued an invitation to bid. We only received one bidder, who happens to be our current vendor that's been delivering our election equipment for many, many years now. So this resolution would give the director or deputy director authority to execute that contract with approval from the prosecutor's office. It's a 2-year contract.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept Resolution 25-001.
Second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That motion carries. Next, a full-time staff appointment. Ms. Poland?
Yes, our current Republican precinct election official recruitment and training supervisor has provided notice that she would be leaving the board as of February 21st. So we have identified Olivia Jacob, who is with us this morning, to take her place, and we need the board's official approval for this full-time appointment.
Well, since this is an opposite party, I'll move to that we approve the appointment of Olivia Jacob to the position of precinct election official, recruitment and training services, the People's Department.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? That motion carries. And congratulations, Olivia. All right. Next on our agenda is other business. Is there any other business, Ms. Poland?
Not from staff.
I do have something I want to bring up. For those of you who don't know, and out there in the viewing audience, our current board chairwoman, Ms. Gwen McFarland, this is her last board meeting, and she has served us well. She's done an exemplary job, and I remember Gwen and I both ran for office at the same time in 1995. We both got elected.
Oh, wow.
Way back then. So we go way back. Gwen has done a great job. She's also just recently stepped down as the chair of the Hamilton County Democratic Party. But because of her position here at the board as the board chairwoman, I want to present this proclamation. I'd like to read it if I could. Can we go down here?
Okay.
All of our board members, Alex is on vacation, Alex Trantafilou, so he has already given his comments to Gwen. But this is a proclamation from the Hamilton County Board of Elections in recognition of Gwen McFarland for exemplary service to the voters of Hamilton County. Whereas Gwen McFarland has dedicated her career to public service, demonstrating unwavering commitment, integrity, and leadership in her role as board chair of the Hamilton County Board of Elections, and whereas during her tenure, the board has successfully navigated the complexities of electoral processes, ensuring transparency, accessibility, and fairness in elections, thereby strengthening the democratic process in our community. And whereas Gwen has tirelessly advocated for voter education and engagement, empowering citizens to exercise their right to vote, and ensuring that every vote is heard and every voice is heard. Whereas Gwen has tirelessly advocated for voter education, her leadership has fostered a collaboration amongst political parties, building trust and enhancing the credibility of the Hamilton County Board of Elections. And whereas Gwen's commitment extends beyond her official duties, she has actively spearheaded community outreach initiatives, promoting civic responsibility and inspiring future generations of leaders. And whereas her exemplary service has not only benefited the Hamilton County community, but has also set a standard for excellence in public service. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Hamilton County Board of Elections do hereby honor Gwen McFarland for her outstanding contributions to public service, civil rights, and as board chair. We express our deepest gratitude for her dedication and commitment to fostering a fair and democratic electoral process. Congratulations on your retirement.
I would just like to say a few words. As most of you know how I feel about teamwork, and everything that we have done since I have been here has been a work of teamwork, everybody working together, and we will continue to do that. And what is my favorite quote? Teamwork does what? Makes the dream work. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
We're not quite done. Not quite. So as Joe said, Alex is not with us today, and he asked me to read
Oh,
a
Lord.
statement from him.
Oh, Lord. I got to pray on this one.
I softened it a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, right. Madam Chair, first, let me say that I'm very sorry that I cannot be there in person to deliver this message to you. I want to thank you for being such a great partner and a member of this board. Your good heart and commitment to service is very admirable. Your good-natured and positive approach to everything we did at this Board of Elections set a tone for every member of the organization. It has been a pleasure to work with you. As I have said to our team here many times, the Hamilton County Board of Elections is widely recognized as among the best. I will qualify that as the best,
The best. The
in
best.
Ohio.
Yes.
It is because of you that we can work cooperatively, and when we have some inevitable disagreements, we can work through them with an eye towards resolving them amicably. With you, I always knew we would. Personally, I enjoy getting to know you when we weren't sitting on this platform. I even recall having some wine together during one of our late nights and even having some serious laughs. I know we probably both wish that our respective colleagues in Washington could take a similar approach. Gwen, thank you for your service to the board and to our community. We are all better because of your work here. I wish you all the best in your next endeavor. Your friend, Alex Triantafilo.
All right.
And for me, I want to thank you. I remember the day you were sworn in and the excitement in this room. It was to full to capacity. And obviously, you were excited. But the
Yes.
people in the room were even more excited
Yes.
that you were elected as not only to the Board of Elections, but the chair of the Board of Election in a historic vote. And that said something about this organization, about this county, and
About this building.
about
us,
this
we
building.
as staff, too.
And you know, we've all said this many times, but it's exemplified, or it has been exemplified in your leadership, that even though we walk into this room as partisans and we fight hard for our parties, our respective parties, and our candidates, when we come in here, we know that we have the work of not just our individual parties or our candidates, but the hundreds of thousands of voters in this county rely on us to be responsible stewards of the elections process. And it's hard for people to understand that, but you led us very capably in that. I've been on this board a long time, and I've enjoyed serving as your colleague here. I've admired you as our board chair, and we are a better place because of the service you have provided for us. So
Thank you.
I
Thank
too
you.
wish you the best in your next endeavor. I know we're not done.
No.
You're not done, but thank you for
That's right.
everything.
Thank
And
you.
congratulations.
Thank you. And I intend to catch up with Alex as well and give him a personal compliment as well. So I just want you all to know, I've heard this, but I am following up with him because it's been really, really an honor to work in this environment. When you look at all the odds and people say we couldn't do it, we've done it, we've proved it over and beyond the call of duty, and thank you. Thanks.
Chair, on behalf of Secretary LaRose, I also have a commendation from the state of Ohio, recognizing you for the commitment and admiration you've had on behalf of your community here in Hamilton County. There are, as everyone here who works at the Board of Elections knows, there are 352 board members around the state of Ohio. Half of them are Republican, half of them are Democrat. And I can say Gwen has done a phenomenal job making an impact of being one of those top board members who people know from around the state. And Secretary LaRose was very sad he could not make it today, but you will be getting a phone call from him soon, and I do have this commendation. And I will totally miss seeing you because every meeting, she always reminds everybody what a great job I'm doing too. So I really thank you for that, and I hope Alex continues that trend. So on behalf of Secretary LaRose, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Gwen, on behalf of the entire staff of the Board of Elections, we thank you for your leadership and your friendship the last 6 years, and we wish you all the best in your retirement.
Thank you, Sherry. And there are things I can say, but I can't say about Sherry and I. It was all about teamwork and friendship and respect for each other, and that has continued throughout my tenure here. Thank you so much. And it will
Absolutely.
continue on as it has before and afterwards as well.
Yes. Can we get a picture? Can we
Yes.
get a group picture?
Did you want to? Yeah. Perfect.
This year.
Just had to ask about Dave, because he's kept us legal as well, with all of his levels of
Do
expertise.
you want us to ask him to come in?
Yes.
Bill, can you get?
There he is.
And I would just like to thank Dave. Dave and I go a long way back as well, doing community work and being an advocate for social justice and also what's legal and what's not legal. He's kept us on the straight and narrow.
Most times.
Most of So I could not have you here
All right.
to say thank you. Thank you
Well,
for
you.
everything.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right.
Do we have any other business? We have Kenny here, who reflects the, the state. So I'd like to see, do you have anything else? Because he's always doing a remarkable job. He comes.
This is what I'm going to miss her the most, yes. Kenny Henning here on behalf of Secretary LaRosa's office. We are continuing to prepare for the May special election. I know that Sherry and now Raquel will be working on that with your team, so thank you for the hard work that goes with that, and UACAVA ballots will be going out March 21st, so ballot creation and all the fun for the next election. So thank you for your years of service, and thank you to the BOE team for moving on towards the next election.
And keep up the good work that you're doing. Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you. Any other business? Anyone? Need a motion? Yes.
I just want to announce, after the meeting, we do have, staff has put together a light breakfast in the break room. So everyone's welcome to attend to congratulate Raquel and Gwen, one on advancing in her career and one in the great career that you've had.
Double celebration.
Double celebration.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Need to entertain a motion to.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Anyone, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any absence? None but the devil, and he ain't here. Thank you. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
All right, Gwen.